Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Baer and I am here to finish a Lego set and then start a model kit. And I'm also here to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start things off and get right into it by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego the Site, the Tier 2 blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can apply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi. You can use other people's emotes. If you feel like being a lurker, if you'd rather just lurk and hang out on this Saturday evening and not engage in chat, then be a lurker. That's also okay. It is as I said, Saturday. Hello, Lashbrook. Welcome. I am finishing up the Lego flatbed truck with helicopter 3-in-1. We're working on the mini vehicles, doing some little cars, some toy cars. And then I'm going to start the Denial Gundam high grade, which is a model kit that has long hair, long glittery, clear purple hair. It's pretty fucking rad. It is both rad and cool. So I think you would like that. I think you will like that. I shouldn't say would. I think you will like that. Yeah, and we're going to get into it. I don't know. Let's get into it now. Let's go to the overhead camera. Boom, overhead camera. You can see here, I have built one of the two things for this set, which is the toy cars. We're going to build the other toy car, and then we're going to be done with the set. I thought I would finish this up on Thursday, and I was wrong. Let me change this light right there. Yeah. That was, I forgot to do this on Thursday. I'm in the habit of doing this here. Switching the light that hits me. It does make me a little more washed out, but that's okay because it does benefit by making the build surface brighter, and that's what I'm looking for. And it's a better light, honestly. So we'll do that. And then when I just do the pause for the cause, I'll go back to the other lighting. And it's not a big deal. And I just have to reach a little bit, which is annoying, but it's not a deal breaker. Anyway, I got one of the two toy cars, and then we're going to build the other toy car, and then we're done with this. I have gone through to make sure I have every piece I need, and only the pieces I need, because as you may remember from Thursday, shortly before the stream, like a couple hours before the stream, I did drop a bunch of Lego. Mixed in with, of all the places to drop that Lego, I dropped it into the bin of Lego, previous Lego pieces. So it all got mixed in, and it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. In the second hour of tonight's stream, I will be chatting to you about anime, and we will talk about episodes 10 and 11 of Sorairo Utility, the golf anime, because I am finally going to talk about that goddamn anime, these episodes. This is now like the third week or third stream where I'm going to try to talk about episode 10. I got through like half of the episode, but we had the beautiful raid. But the thing is, when I get a raid of like 6 people, it's like, oh, hey, welcome. But when I get a raid of like 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 people, even if all 50 don't stick around the whole time, they're there for a while. And it's kind of weird to be like, hey, I need to talk about episode 10 of this anime. You know what I mean? For the faithful, the folks that have been here quite a bit, y'all have been hearing me talk about this show, and I don't feel like it's that big of a deal. But, so yeah, so we got that. That's the second hour. Now, weirdly, there isn't a lot of video game news to talk about, and by any, there's none. There was no late breaking Friday stories that we didn't cover on Thursday. I think possibly because of GDC, people just aren't making announcements and doing things and things. So I don't have a lot to talk to you or anything to talk to you about the world of video games. Let me check one quick story here. Did that end up being anything that I want to chat with you about? Not really. Just like, yeah. I don't know, there was like there were like a couple things about Assassin's Creed. Some that were like, oh wait, this game is actually good. Or, hey, I'm only a few hours in, but like, so is he not in the game? Like, what's up? So I don't know because I have not heard from people who are playing later hours of the game, but it does feel like, I don't want to call it a bait and switch, but did Assassin's Creed decide to add in the cool black samurai character like late in development, because it seems like you meet him, you do cool shit as him, and then you're just playing the ninja lady, you know, the assassin. And then maybe they were just like, oh, our initial feedback is that people want to play as a samurai. Let's shoehorn that in. And they just didn't message that well. I don't know. But that seems weird. And there was a whole thing about disrespecting shrines and how that was such a clear violation, and they would never do that, and to other religions. And it's like, okay, well, they would. One, yes, it is crass to allow a character to just destroy things that have a cultural and religious nature. But also, you are playing an assassin. I do not care if that assassin is supposed to be right. And, you know, you're killing the Templars, whatever. You're still playing an assassin. Like, I don't know. At a certain point, you just got to go, yeah. But yeah, they don't have a lot going on as far as video game news to talk about, and not a lot going on with me. The last 2 days, I was supposed to run I was supposed to be in a D&D one-shot yesterday, and that got canceled. During the day, got canceled, so I was like, shit, I don't know what to do. So I watched wrestling last night. Sendai Girls, which is a small Joshi outfit emanating from Sendai, the Sendai region in Japan, which is owned and operated by Meiko Satomura, the living legend Meiko Satomura, who is retiring next month. Meiko was the champion as of this week, is not the champion anymore. Phenomenal match. Losing to Hashimoto, Big Hash, as they say, who just looks like a fucking wrestler. Anyway, it was a great show, and lots of dream matches for Meiko. She's been showing up in other promotions. There was thought that maybe she was going to show up and on NXT during WrestleMania weekend. We still don't know if that has not been announced. There's still the possibility that might happen. She is technically under contract still with the WWE and NXT, but I believe not as an active participant. And she's certainly able to do independent shows. She was able to do Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling and DDT stuff. Next month, she's facing Murder Grandpa, Minoru Suzuki, a lifelong friend of hers as far as the years of wrestling, which is great. Anyway, she put on a great show. There were a lot of old timers. This is telling you, this should be a good indication for folks that follow some wrestling. There was a match where the legendary wrestler, the living legend, we should say, Aja Kong, one of the best heels in all of wrestling, who is now just a beloved older lady still doing the wrestling thing. She was in the ring, and she was teaming with two other people from All Japan Women around the same time that she was, whom have retired and then come out of retirement. And she was the youngest of the three of them. The other two were like a year older than her. And that is... It's been a while since I watched a match where Aja Kong was not the oldest wrestler in the match. That's just like kind of fucking wild to even say. It was a fun bout. Lots of good old school wrestlers. Jaguar wrestled. We talked about Jaguar on a previous Pat Watches Wrestling stream. We'll get another one of those in someday. Don't worry about it. It's been a while, but we'll get back to that. In a previous Pat Watches Wrestling, we talked about Jaguar and how she had retired to have kids, and then she came out of retirement, and then she retired again, and then she came out of retirement again. And she's been in wrestling ever since. She wrestled a comedy wrestler who was also in her 40s, but you wouldn't know it to look at her. A technical marvel that I'm going to bring up the card so I can start saying names. I'm not saying some names here. So let me get the Sendai Girls cage match page up here so I can start looking at this event here. The top of Joshi Wrestling. So yeah, Jaguar Yokota fought against Sakura Hirota. Shin Sakura Hirota. Sakura Hirota is a technical marvel in the ring who realized, being a comedy wrestler gives you a lot more energy and you can wrestle longer as a comedy wrestler. So she switched to just doing jokes. She sings her own entrance, and it's a very old kind of like song, and she is like tries to be like the positive force, but then she cheats in the ring. This is very fun, very entertaining. She had that match like Thursday and has had matches the next 2 nights. Like she can just wrestle she could wrestle every day if she wanted to, because it's low impact, and usually a good chunk of the match is her preamble, like she does a promo, she does all this stuff, and then she wrestles. So she was only in a match for 6 minutes, but the segment was like the full like 10 or 11, which is good work if you can fucking get it. Hats off to her. She knows what's up. All right, so this is our roof for our little toy car here with our exhaust on the outside. This is kind of like somewhat tractor, somewhat Model T. I think it's a fun combination of things. Obviously, this is, again, fictional vehicle. Pretty fun. We're going to put on the rear lights. There are front lights and rear lights, even on a toy car. Gotta have proper lights. Anyway, that was great. I should just say that it was Kyoko Inoue and Takako Inoue, who were double Inoue. They had the same last name, so they wrestled as double Inoue, which is a great tag team name. And Chiako Nagashima was also in that match, and she is slightly younger than the rest of them. And of all of the older ladies on the card that night, she was definitely the one that could work the best. She could still fucking go. She still got it. It was fun. Also, Aja Kong sold for Ryo Mizunami, who fucking rules. I love Ryo. Ryo Mizunami is a phenomenal talent. And obviously, Aja has some esteem for her because she sold some offense, which you don't always see with an Aja Kong match. There were wrestlers from Marvelous in attendance performing. Kenta Kobayashi was there, and I almost cried. And I'm almost crying now. The legend Kenta Kobayashi was there. They had a bunch of like people there to present flowers for a lot of the major matches, and some of them were like they had some Olympic wrestlers there. They had an Olympic medal figure skater, like the first person to ever win a gold medal for Japan in the Olympics was there to present flowers before one of the matches. Sendai knows what the fuck is up. They have very good local connections and stuff like that. But they had Bull Nakano on commentary, on Japanese commentary. And they had Kenta Kobayashi there to present flowers to Meiko Satomura. And Meiko Satomura is a real, like, stoic wrestler. She expresses herself, but part of her whole fucking deal is how stoic she is in the ring and composed she is. And you could tell, like, that meant a lot. That meant a lot to her. It was fucking cool. There was some good shit. And then Chihiro Hamashido won the main belt and is the champion. Also, if you like hardcore matches, there was a very fucking long hardcore match on that show. Dash Chisako and Risa Serra had a long ass match that was probably too long. Also, no blood. This is a real hardcore match. There was a bunch of dumb bumps because Dash takes a lot of dumb fucking bumps. But overall, real good. Chi-Chi lost her belt, which is a shame. Yes, there is a wrestler named Chi-Chi. C-H-I space C-H-I. Not like Chi-Chi in Dragon Ball, where it's Chi-Chi. It's Chi-Chi. So you could make the joking assumption that her first name and her last name, her surname, are both Chi. Yeah, she's just Chi. Just call her Chi for short. She lost her championship, the Sendai Girls Junior title, which is their secondary singles title. She lost that to Aya Sakura in a really fun match. Chi-Chi is a Japanese woman that has blonde hair, bleach blonde hair, and she has a pink cowboy hat, and she comes out to the song Barbie Girl because she's like a Barbie doll, but a really good wrestler, but also she's fun. She's very fun. Chi-Chi is delightful. She's not my favorite on Sendai Girls because my favorite is Hashimoto because she's a thick monster lady. She's just a fucking, she's Godzilla. She is just a big monster of a wrestler. She's like a short, even short in American standards, not that short in Japanese standards, but she is like stocky and short and cool as hell. And I really like Chihiro Hashimoto, the champion. Anyway, I'm trying to watch all of Meiko Satomura's final matches. I know of 2. She has a tag match at the end of April, which is a retirement match. And she has a match against, as I said earlier, she has a one-on-one match with Minoru Suzuki that will be hard-hitting and fucked. Anyway, I gotta take a photo of these Lego. This Lego's done. So let me get a photo of this Lego. There. Lego has been completed. This 3-in-1. I'll talk. You know what? Hey, weird. I know. I'll talk a little bit about the thing that I made. This is the most the first build is so much better than the other 2 builds I've seen in a long time for a 3-in-1. Like the other cars were fine, but the whole point of this one is the flatbed truck with the helicopter. These other ones, these are the least interesting, the toy car ones. The plane was kind of fun to build. The fact that we could build a plane out of parts for a truck and a helicopter. It's like, oh, that's neat. So overall, not my favorite of the 3-in-1s. I like them when they're a little more balanced, when it's like, oh, I don't know if I would want to have, the dragon or the lobster or crab. I don't know which one I would want. Obviously, it would be lobster. It hasn't been this one-sided since the jet that was also a robot, where it was well, obviously you build the robot. You would never keep the other ones. You might build them, you never keep the other ones. You obviously would keep the robot. It was clear that you keep the robot. All right, let's get rid of that flatbed photo and let's bring up the Denial Gundam. And now let's I think that car will be a bit better if it didn't have the gray piece at the bottom to give more space for the ground. Oh, yeah, it is I think that's just so that the wheels don't fall off. But yeah, I mean, it's a toy car, right? And toy cars are not, it's supposed to be mimicking a toy car. So you would imagine that, yeah, it just wasn't, that's how it was built. But if I don't even know if I could pry this off like this, because it's probably gonna be difficult for me to pry this off. But if I could pry it off, maybe you'd like it more. I don't know. I'm not gonna be able to, maybe I can wedge it. I don't know. Maybe I can. I just trimmed my nails. Okay, they came off. Yeah. So, obviously, with that piece off, these wheels are going to fall off, right? Or they'd be more likely to fall off without that there, which is why that piece is there. But, yeah, it's a little bit more aerodynamic. It's a little more aerodynamic. It's a little better, a little less chunky that way. But this piece is necessary in the design, so we'll throw that back on there just for now. So these are going to get broken apart and then thrown in a box. To eventually, I have to send. It's been a while. I haven't sent them out. Eventually, they will be sent to kids, so that kids, well, they get sent to Lego, and then Lego cleans all of them, and then distributes them to kids in need, which is lovely. We love that. The Denial Gundam. It's time to talk about the Denial Gundam because we're finally starting the Denial Gundam. This one, my $10 patrons voted. This was the next thing that I will be working on, and they were right for this. So let's bring up we'll do a larger photo of this right here so you can kind of get a good sense of this. So the Denial Gundam, which is from Build Fighters. There are still Build Fighters and Build Fighters tri-kits that I haven't built yet, if you can believe it. There's still quite a few. Some of them are rare. Some of them are hard to find. The one that has there's a big hand as a shield. I have not been able to find that. But yeah, this kit is, when were you? 2015. The Denial Gundam. I did not watch this part of it. We do have some polycaps, of course. We do have some stickers, of course. And we do have lots of effect parts. I don't know. Actually, I had it big and you couldn't even see the things that I was doing. Sorry. That's my bad. It does have stickers. It does have polycaps. And it does have effects parts. It's got glitter. It's got a whole lot of glitter. You thought that 2 years ago when I did glitter paint for the Plastic Model Weekender, you thought that was a lot of glitter on the glitter paint. This is even more glitter. It's very cool. The whole kit isn't glittery, just a lot of the effects parts are. And it's fun because it's embedded glitter. I think this is a good look at it. I don't know how it's going to show up on camera. It looks all right in my OBS monitor, but your mileage may vary. But I think it's going to look really cool on the kit. And then there are, again, quite a few of these effects parts here. We got the hair, which, yeah, this is really cool looking. And we've got parts here. Yeah, it just looks neat. It just looks very cool. This kit that we're going to start building now, I'm going to tease you a little bit here. I'm going to give you a little bit of a tease. A little tease. This kit, I will be doing something with this kit in a couple months. So not only am I working on it right now, which I am, and we'll finish it, of course, I'm also going to work on it in the future in some special, cool way. So stay tuned for that. This is not the last time that you will see the Denial Gundam. We'll leave it at that. So yeah, stay tuned. Let's start working on the chest. We're starting with the chest, and then we do the head, and then the arms, which is fairly traditional for kids, especially of this generation, or this era, I should say. To continue talking about wrestling, because that's kind of what's going on with me, is just my interest in wrestling. We do have some big shows in April. I am not planning on taking off on the 19th for the night one of WrestleMania. I am planning to watch that later, or start watching it and then finish it. Streams as normal. There's a lot of wrestling that week and a lot of stuff I'm going to be watching, but I will be watching around other things. So feel free to watch those things, with me or, on your own time. But yeah, my streams will be normal. But next month, there are 2 wrestling pay-per-views of note, AEW Dynasty and WrestleMania 41. Dynasty has only 3 matches announced as of right now, but again, it's a couple weeks and we're building to it. We might even start seeing, I think next week we're going to start seeing more things. But I can tell you what the matches are that have been announced, what we're aware of. Looks like that. And then this. Excuse me. Looks like that. Is that right? Yeah, okay, so it goes like that. We know that at Dynasty, we will have Kenny Omega defend his international championship in his first title defense against Ricochet and Speedball Mike Bailey, or as sometimes he is named, he and they, should be clear. Occasionally, Speedball is referred to as Speedball Bailey. Speedball Mike Bailey has had 2 matches in AEW. The first was a qualifier round for this little mini tournament. And then Mike and Ricochet both pinned Mark Davis. And so they both are moving on, which is very silly. And also Ricochet cheated, but that's besides the point. That was beyond that. But yes. So Mike Bailey's first AEW pay-per-view is a title match with Kenny Omega and Ricochet, and that is cool as hell. It's real cool as hell. Jon Moxley will be defending the AEW World Championship, the Men's World Championship, we'll say, against Swerve Strickland, which felt like, yeah, that was going to happen. I did not think that Cope was going to win. I am hoping that there are no shenanigans that change this match and who is in this match. There certainly could be some shenanigans on that. There certainly will be shenanigans during the match because it's almost impossible for that to not be the case. So I still think there will be, there's still going to be shit that happens in it. But as of right now, that is the planned match. And I think that's a good one. I do not think... I guess I can give early predictions. I'll give you my early picks here. Okay, so this goes like this. And then this goes like that. There it goes. Yeah. There it is. Okay. My early predictions are that Kenny Omega will retain. I could see Speedball eating the pin for Ricochet so that Kenny loses the belt. That is certainly a thing. And then we protect Kenny Omega because he didn't lose. Someone else, Speedball lost. But this is Kenny's first title defense. And I don't think that he's going to lose it there. I think Kenny Omega is going to retain. I could see a world in which Kenny Omega wins or loses that belt at All In and holds it through Double or Nothing and then loses it All In. Makes a lot of sense to me. Or Double or Nothing. Maybe. I don't know. Jon Moxley, I think, is going to retain. I think Swerve Strickland should beat Jon Moxley for the good of AEW. Out of kayfabe. Not in kayfabe, yes. Out of kayfabe, also yes. I think that the main event scene being bad makes the rest of the show worse. And you can't, this is an analogy I've given before that some of you may understand and may appreciate. Let's say that you are attending a sketch show, like an SNL of its kind. We're going to a live sketch comedy show. Hell yeah, you're going to a live sketch comedy show. It is a half an hour in length. If that sketch group knows what they're doing, hopefully they are doing the following for you, the audience member, to give you, the audience member, the best experience. They are giving you, up first, their second best sketch. They are going to close with their best sketch. And they are going to, in the very middle of the show, give their, weird sketch, their least good sketch, whatever. In the case of SNL, there is the slot after the second musical performance, or right before the first musical performance, depending on how they book the show, is the weird slot. It's not the weird sketch. The weirdest sketches are not the end of the night. They're not the last sketch. They're generally right before it. The ones that often get cut for hour-long replays on Comedy Central, that kind of thing. Anyway, a sketch show starts with the second best, ends with the best. Or you might want to end with your best and then start with your best and end with your second best. But often, I've always suggested to people when I was still giving notes to people that were working on sketch comedy was, if you end with your best sketch, it doesn't matter that your middle sketch didn't get a lot of laughs or was a little long or a little bulky. And that's also true for wrestling. the thing that people will a middling show. If you have put on a show that was like fine, but your last wrestling match stole the show and was killer, then it was a good show. You put on a good show. Good show, everybody. Oh, that pay-per-view was great. If you put on a killer show, an unbelievable top to bottom, like stacked card full of banger after banger after banger, no sleep for the wicked. We're doing it. We're going for it. Everything is aces. Everybody put their bodies on the line to tell a compelling story and to make a spectacle, and it fucking whipped ass. And then your last wrestling match sucked shit. Then you had a bad pay-per-view. And that's it. To me, even though week to week, moment to moment, Jon Moxley and the Death Riders is a small portion of the show. Even on Wednesday, they weren't even the main event. Yes, but they were the main event of the last pay-per-view, and it was bad, and it made the show worse. And often it is the main focus of the show. Often the show is built around this world title because it's your world title, and the world title should mean something. It should mean more than the other matches on the card, because it's the thing that everyone in the company in that division is working towards. And unfortunately, in most American Western wrestling promotions, the men's division is considered superior to the women's division. So it is the most important division in AEW. And this storyline sucks. And it makes the shows worse because it sucks. So for the good of the enjoyment of the shows, Swerve Strickland should beat Jon Moxley. And I am not happy with the fact that I don't like Jon Moxley right now, because I don't. His street fight with Adam Cope, was the best thing he's done in a couple years now, because it was the style he wants to do. And so it was good. But a lot of his style lately has been bad, and the matches have been unpleasant and not fun to watch and very predictable. And the story hasn't gone anywhere. And it's very frustrating. Like, you in kayfabe almost killed Bryan Danielson for this. It's a shame. It's a real shame. Hopefully it will be better in the future. I am looking forward to it somehow magically getting better, that everyone says like, oh, it'll make sense soon, or it'll just be the right dance partner and all that, or like Moxley will wrestle like how we know he can wrestle. Eddie will come back in the summer and it'll all be okay. I mean, I want Eddie Kingston to come back healthy and well so he can work for a number of years, because I love Eddie Kingston as a wrestler and as a man just trying to do his fucking best and fight his demons. I hope for the guy. But yeah, this main event scene is bad, and I don't think 1 year after he won the belt the first time, they're going to put the belt back on Swerve, but I think they fucking should. I love the idea that the guy that he lost the belt to, Danielson, was the guy that Mox beat, so then Swerve would beat Mox, and I think that's cool. It's not going to happen. The third match that is on the card right now that has been announced is Timeless Toni Storm will put her women's world title on the line against Megan Bayne. Now, there's certainly a case to be made that they are going to hotshot the belt to Megan Bayne. And Megan Bayne will just have a few more wins, that she will go in to Dynasty undefeated, and she will beat Toni Storm. And you might even argue that building her up and up and up and up just to lose to Toni would be kind of deflating. and possibly very rough for that wrestler. But it all is also pretty fucking old school to introduce a character and build them up just to have them then lose. So I don't know. On the one hand, I don't know who fights Tony next. I don't know where they go with it. It can't be Mariah May, so it's got to be somebody else. Do they finally try to turn this character fully heel again? I don't know if they can. They can certainly try. I don't know if it will be successful. Do they have her lose? Do they have her lose to Megan Bayne? And have Megan Bayne be an undefeated, like the world champion, and her first loss being when she loses the belt? I don't know. I don't think a refresh of Toni Storm is necessary because she had that refresh already, the short-lived thing where she was pretending to be, that she had a mental, how do I say this? The character of timeless Toni Storm, who does have a mental illness because she thinks that she is timeless and a starlet, is also had a psychic break where she was pretending like she was herself in the past as a rookie Toni Storm, like on the indies, which was very funny and weird. But that was all acting. That was all an acting job on Tony's part. So we know that to be true. So now it's like, okay, like, I don't know. I don't know where the character goes. I don't know what they have plans for it. They haven't had Megan Bayne say a word, and they finally just had Tony, like, kind of make fun of her for it in a promo. But Megan Bayne hasn't said anything, and I have heard Megan Bayne talk. She can talk. I don't know if she's a good promo, but she can speak words. I don't know. My gut says Toni Storm retains, and Tony doesn't lose it until All In, because I feel like a bunch of belts are going to change hands at All In. Or maybe they do it sooner. Maybe they do it Double or Nothing, and it's the next opponent is where she actually drops it. Maybe Sorairo comes back and challenges Tony. That could be, but or is Double or Nothing finally Harley Cameron's time to shine? Does Harley Cameron move up to have a program with Toni Storm where they have mutual appreciation of each other's weird fucking vibes, and it's just like a face versus face match, and she pulls it off? I don't know. That's a long shot, but I would rather see Harley Cameron with the world belt rather than Megan Bayne. I think Athena versus maybe Double or Nothing. I think Athena will be facing someone she hasn't wrestled in a long ass time. She's never wrestled in a WWE ring, wildly, but she did team with her. I think Ember Moon. Formerly known as Ember Moon, now known as Athena. Formerly, before that, known as Athena. I think Athena versus Mercedes Moné happens a couple times before it happens at All In. I think it happens at least once before that, and Athena loses, but the feud doesn't end, and then Athena beats Mercedes Moné for at least the TABS championship at All In, because some Texas folk are going to win it All In, and she is a Texas folk. So that's my gut. My gut says it'll be Athena will be the one to dethrone, and then Athena will be back on AEW television. She used to be on AEW, and then she's been exclusively Ring of Honor, and now she'll be hopefully back. What else was I going to say? Yeah, so those are the three matches that have been announced. I don't know who who in the tag division goes up against Hurt Syndicate, or if they even have a tag match at the pay-per-view there. Okada will probably have somebody. Hopefully Danny Garcia is actually on the card, because they have been building up this. They've been building up this thing with him and Adam Cole, and I know they have a match tonight, but I feel like the actual match where no one can interfere and it will actually have a winner, I feel like that's probably going to be on at Dynasty. That's my hope anyway, because I think with Adam Cole in there, you can have a Danny Garcia match, maybe an opener. Get the good work in at the opening. I don't know. Some stuff's going on in the wrestling. And then for WWE, their next pay-per-view is, or premium live event, their next pay-per-view premium live event is WrestleMania, 2 nights. There are 6 matches confirmed. We just had a one confirmed this week. The 6th match confirmed this week. 2 nights. So assumed that Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the undisputed WWE Championship, assumed that will happen at night 2. That feels like night 2. Like, that feels like the match you do at night 2. I think that match is going to be pretty fucking big. It's going to be real big. Now, you would say, okay, well, then Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, that would end night 1 because the crowd loves Jey Uso and it's the World Heavyweight title. I feel like that's opening night 1. I think that opens night 1. And another match, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, main events night 1. Or Io Sky versus Bianca Belair, with possibly also Rhea Ripley, because Rhea Ripley took the contract and put her name on it, which is very funny. And she was like, that's legally binding, which it certainly isn't, but it's very funny for her to be like, yeah, that's a legal document. I feel like that has a better chance of being the main event of night 1, because Jay has not lived up to the name main event Jey Uso. It's been rough for the guy, but he's over as hell. Also on the card, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship. God damn it, if Charlotte wins, what the fuck? They tried to bring her back as a face again. It doesn't work. The crowd will respond positively to her until she starts talking, because she's just naturally unlikable and just has a heel vibe. Or that's her plan all along, blah, blah, blah. But either way, God, I'm really afraid that Tiffy's going to lose at WrestleMania. Charlotte does not need another title. Ugh. Io Sky, as I said, versus Bianca Belair. If it is a solo match between Io Sky and Bianca Belair, I feel like that's Io Sky retaining. If Rhea is involved, I could see Rhea winning her belt back. It felt wild and weird that Rhea lost her belt to Io. Everyone was pretty fucking surprised. So, and then it was like, well, maybe they're writing Rhea off. Does Rhea need time off? And I'm thinking, no, it's a heel turn. It's to facilitate a heel turn for her. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens in a singles match, because the wrestlers don't like each other. I don't think that should be on WrestleMania. I'm going to say right now. No belt on the line. I feel like that's going to be on WrestleMania, and LA Knight is going to defend the U.S. Championship and the week of, and Braun Breaker is going to defend on the pre-show or the week of, and it's just like Kevin versus Randy should be on the SmackDown before WrestleMania. I don't think it should be on WrestleMania. That's just my personal opinion on it, but I don't think it should be on WrestleMania, because I think that's not the right call. And then Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. That'll be good. That'll be a good, strong match. It's always interesting these days to see Roman Reigns wrestle where he doesn't have a bunch of people having his back. I find that interesting and intriguing. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see if that is something. All right. check this shit out. It's looking great. Looking real good. We got the chest done here. We'll clean it up. Looking good. So yeah, only 6 matches so far, WrestleMania. One could imagine another 5 or 6 announced, depending on what else they're doing. But we'll see that. Tag titles, one of the 2 tag belts on the line, probably. Women's tag doesn't feel like it will be on the line, but I could see Jade versus Naomi being on the card. Having Jade Cargill on WrestleMania makes a lot of sense to me. And so I could see that ending up on the show. That feels more likely than the women's tag belts or the women's Intercontinental or the women's US. Women's US, I actually could see ending up on the SmackDown before or maybe on the show. Chelsea Green doing a big thing there. I could see that depending on if Becky Lynch is coming back. Like if Becky Lynch comes back and she wants the US title. The idea that the first and second WWE women's US champions were both like people from outside the US would make me laugh because Chelsea's Canadian and Becky's Irish. Irish from Ireland, I should say. I should specify. She's Irish by being from Ireland, not Irish American. Not that kind of thing. A different thing. I had to put a sticker on this before I put these pieces on. Working on the head here. We'll see if we can get this looking good. Got B29. That's a tiny piece. This head is small. And then we'll do B14 and B15. Get those out. But yeah, if I was going to put money on it of any other women's match on this card, it would be Jade versus Bianca. Sorry, Jade versus Naomi. That makes the most sense to me. Because you get local. Get a lot of press for Jade Cargill in a singles match at WrestleMania. Makes some sense to me. Unless you do a tag, you find out who was helping out Naomi, and Naomi's on a team with heels, and then Jade enlists some help, and you just do a multi-woman match. Oh, you could figure something out. You could do something if you wanted to. All right, I gotta get sticker 1 here. Again, I am not going to take off that Saturday for WrestleMania. I will instead do just that Sunday, watching on my own time, April 20th for that Sunday, and April 19th, that Saturday, I will be here streaming. It's not a thing I want to take off. Luckily, AEW Destiny is a Sunday show. They've been running a lot of Saturdays. I know for a bunch of people, Saturday is way better, especially international folks. It's way better for them to just have into their morning Sunday, stay up late or whatever. But for me personally, a person that does a stream like this every Saturday that they can and tries not to ever take a Saturday off, because I don't like taking days off. That shit rules. I haven't said this out loud. I'll say it again in 10 minutes, so maybe I shouldn't say it now, but whatever, I'll say it. I'm currently at 38 subscribers. The goal is to get to 40. If you want to gift a sub or become a subscriber or anything like that, you can do that and help me get to the big 4-0. I shut up about that until it drops low again. We were at 40. Now we're down to 38, which is okay. That's all right. It happens. It's okay. The sticker feels like I put it on too low. So I'm going to try to separate these parts here. And then I'm going to doing it slow. Now I'm going to move this sticker up because it looks like I put it too low. It's getting eaten by the plastic there. Lord Crashington is here. Lord Crashington is on a 200 stream streak. That's wild. Thanks for letting us know, Lord Crashington. Welcome. Happy to have you here on the old stream. That's a lot of streams that you have watched. Thank you very much for that. That's a wild streak to let us know about. Thank you for your continued support and viewership. Let's see. Anything going on with me right now? I mean, not much. Trying to reschedule the D&D that I was supposed to have yesterday that I couldn't. I got my taxes all done, and that's a nightmare. But hey, I'm an American. Of course it is. It's been a nightmare for a number of years. Used to not be. My taxes used to be very easy. I had one job, and I had one job and one source of income, and they paid me taxes. They took out money for taxes, I should say, and then I would go and pay my taxes, and then they would take it out too much in some aspects and not, and just enough in others, and then I would owe. Some years I would owe a little bit of money to the state and get a lot back in federal, and then. Because of my job, I used to be, when I started traveling for that stuff, a couple times I traveled and it was work related, so I would write that off, and that was really nice. And then towards the end of that working, I started streaming, but none of that was, I didn't make enough for that to be a problem. And occasionally I would do other work, and, I would do some acting work here and there, and that would come in, and I would maybe owe here and there, or I would get it back and it'll be fine. But since I started working for numerous people at various different times of the year, and some of them take out no money for taxes, and some of them take out a lot of money for taxes, it's been a fucking nightmare. And then also, sometimes they take forever to send me stuff. They'll just fucking take forever to send me the information that I need. And things have certainly changed over the years about how I can record my taxes and things like that, business expenses and all that stuff. It's a fucking nightmare. So yeah, that went badly. That went fucking badly. Might have to do a little fundraiser to take care of that. I'm gonna try not to have to do a fundraiser, but might have to. Come on. Sorry, this is taking forever because the sticker is now, when I put the part of the face in, the sticker is now cut off and fell in. So I want to try to pry this off and put it on first and then put the sticker on, which is not the order that they give. But I think it would be better. But what I don't want to do is break this piece so I have to glue it together, or pull so hard that this piece flies away and I lose it forever, which also could happen. And I also don't want to rip this sticker because it's the eye sticker and I want it to look good. So now I'm trying to pop this little piece out without losing it. And also, I'm trying to pop this piece out without stabbing myself because I'm using an X-Acto blade because it's a very tiny hole that I'm trying to pry this apart in. So my apologies that I'm not moving on from this part of the face here. It shouldn't take as long as it did. What I should have done was just put it together and then put the sticker on and trusted my gut instead of following this part of the instructions. Why the Come on. I wonder if I could. Yeah, I know that if I pull this sticker too hard, it is just going to rip. And that's obviously not what I want. So I'm just trying to pry this out, and it's being really fucking annoying. I also don't want to, I don't want to rip the sticker. I don't want to cut anything. I can do without the sticker, but if I can get the sticker going, I want to get the sticker on. Well. I'm making some headway. All right, I got half the sticker up. Whoa. I can hear the noise of plastic moving. I got the sticker out. I did it. Whew. All right, now I'm going to try to push these two pieces of plastic back together. I have locked them back together. Now I'm going to try to put this sticker on my X-Acto blade here. All right, so there's the sticker opened up. Now I'm going to try to put the sticker on the eyes here. The eye sticker on above. Then I also might want to put a little liquid cement on there because the sticker is probably not as tacky as it should be. There we go. That looks so much better like that. Okay. Oof. Sorry, I'm gonna. Well, you can see here. Sticker is now on the outside. It was stuck underneath this part of the face before. Now it is visible and hopefully noticeable. And I did like that. And the main thing is, I know that this looks better than it did previously. And then what I'll just do is, I will take a little bit, just the teeniest bit of liquid cement. And then I'll just put that on there. And so the paper will adhere to the plastic. Try not to. And then just get this in here. Whoa, coming apart. Sticker's coming off. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this sticker adhere here. Adhere here. I'm going to let that sit there and dry and stick to the plastic, and then I will apply then I'll build the rest of the head here and put this on. Fortunately, it looks like I got two. Oh, I do have a sticker here when I work on the arm. There's one more sticker that goes on this, which I can do. There's one more head sticker, which is sticker 3. I think there's multiple sticker 3s. Again, one of the big downsides of high grades is because it's a 1/4 scale, that sometimes the stickers are very small. But you want them to be there. You want them to be working. Okay. Front sticker is applied. Well, it does not look like there is a back sticker here. So we've done that. Yeah. Well, there's room for that. Actually, let me see. Is that supposed to go there? Because there is another sticker on 3. Let me get the translator here and read what this says right here. There's some words right there, and I can read what that says. And then we'll take a pause to the calls, and I'll talk about ways you can support the channel and all that other stuff. But let me get up the old translator, Google Translator here. See if I can read those words. It says seal. Okay, it just says seal. So it just meant the sticker. It just meant sticker number 3. Okay, that's all it meant. That's what that means. That means seal. Okay, so the other sticker 3 goes somewhere else. We'll find that out later. I thought maybe he was saying like, oh, it also goes on that piece, but whatever. You get it. You get what I'm doing. All right, so that's the last sticker here for a moment. We'll have more stickers to work on as this kit gets built. And speaking of building, this is the Build with Bear workshop. It's not a great transition, but it is the transition that I did. It's the transition I went with. Now is the part of the stream where I'm going to talk to you. That's right, you, about ways that you can support me and what I do here. Everything I'm about to tell you is optional. You have no obligation to do any of these things. But if you would like to, well, you're more than welcome. Pardon me, sorry. If you want to help me out financially, you're more than welcome to. If you're currently a subscriber to the Build with Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through Cash Money or your Prime Gaming token, if you got that. If you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch, you get a token. You can use that token for anybody. If you want to use it for me, that would be cool. I would say that would be very cool. So that is a way to support me. We are currently at 38 subscribers out of 40. I shut up about how many subscribers I have when we hit 40. If you want to become a subscriber, you could do that now. Again, you get some emotes. You don't see ads. You don't see pre-order ads. You don't see ads during the stream. It's nice. Now, if you wanted to gift a sub, you could be like Puppet Jared and Aristofan and Harold and an anonymous person that gave some subs. You'd be like them. You could join the gift sub leaderboard if you want to do that. You certainly could, and get me closer to 40, where I will stop talking about how many subscribers I have. You could also cheer. Bits and coins, always appreciated. And that's through Twitch. There are other ways to support me financially if you wanted to. This is just the easiest because you're already here watching on Twitch. So you just do that. But you could, if you want to, instead go to my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. Over on my Patreon, there is a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. That's right, I have a $1 tier because I've been doing Patreon long enough, and they haven't forced me to give it up. But I have different tiers, and there are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. There's some voting stuff. Sometime next week, I will be filming, probably next weekend, I'll be filming a Q&A that is exclusive to my Patreon. So, you know, if there's something there, if there's a tier that makes sense for you, consider jumping in on the Patreon. What else? Oh, yeah. If you want to support me on YouTube, I got a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Over on my YouTube channel, you can subscribe for free, of course. Now, if you want to become a member over on YouTube, well, the membership is just $2 a month, and you get my Tuesday videos a day early. So you'll be able to see next Tuesdays will be the last of me doing Girls Doing Things month as a theme for my Kuma Baer series. So you'll be able to find out what the last one is before other people do. Now, those are all monthly ways to support me. If you just want to help me out or for a one-time thing, I've got a Ko-Fi, I've got a PayPal. Should also mention the Ko-Fi right now is me raising, so that's a YouTube, sorry. The Ko-Fi right now is me putting together a little bit of money because of tax season and various shenanigans are related to that. But if you send me something on my PayPal, direct donations, anything I make through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me out, through Patreon, through Twitch, all those things. If you send me any money for those things, you subscribe at any of those places, well, I'll use that money to buy model kits. This kit, the Denial Gundam, the kit we're working on right now, I was able to pick that up because of past subscribers and donators. You know, past you is helping out present me. And if you want to help future me, you can do it for one of those ways. Also, I should remind you, friends, that you can decide what I work on here on this channel if you wanted to. You could buy something for me to build on stream. And then again, it'll jump the queue, be the next thing that I work on. Get its own dedicated YouTube video about the thing that you purchased, a mailbag video. And you could do that in my Amazon wish list. I've got model kits and Lego sets, inexpensive kits, very expensive kits, all kinds of things and things on the wish list. A 500-piece jigsaw puzzle, a real physical jigsaw puzzle, if you want to see me build that and put together a bunch of legendary creatures from Magic the Gathering. But yeah, model kits and Lego sets and stuff that is really weird and cool and fun. A couple like inexpensive high grades and some very expensive kits, some gear at the bottom, some Lego that looks rad as hell. There's a Lego Dreams Cooper's gaming controller jet toy is like a cool jet that is like also like it is a gaming controller turned into a jet. It just looks rad because it's all dreams and stuff. I don't know who Cooper is, but Cooper has some cool dreams of like, what if my controller for my whatever knockoff Xbox could fly. It's just a neat looking thing. A bunch of things in there that I would be happy to build. I don't have any Lego in my backlog, so if you want to pick me up some Lego to build, you could do that. Let's see. Are there other things that need to go? I need to talk about here. Oh yeah. If you want to buy something for me to build and you don't want to go through Amazon, I fucking get it. Well, I have a Throne wish list. Check that out. And then the most convoluted way to support me financially is to go to USA Gundam Store. At USA Gundam Store, you can buy a gift card. They will send you an email with a gift card code. You can then use that gift card code. And we will then, send me that gift card code as Whisper here on Twitch, DM on Twitter or Blue Sky or Mastodon, or you could I don't know, try to send me a message on my Discord with the gift card code, and then I will use that gift card code to buy something from USA Gundam Store. Again, the most convoluted and complicated way to support me financially is that way. Speaking of my Discord, I have a Discord and you can join it there. You can jump in the old Discord. That's a great way to support me financially. If you don't want to do it financially, you just want to support me, join my Discord. It's lovely. And then let's see. I got a couple of video links for you to check out. Pat Bear's Anime Club. This most recent episode, I think, turned out pretty great. It is about me recommending 4 obscure anime, like very obscure anime. I thought that turned out pretty good. Movies and shows that you can watch, one of which you can easily watch. Other ones are a little harder, but these are like very obscure. I tried to find like things that people just haven't said they watched on my anime list. Like under 2,000 people have said, yeah, I've seen that. So pretty obscure. And then over on Kuma Baer, which is my weekly anime recommendation series, as I said earlier, it's Girls Doing Things month. And for the 3rd week, I talked about Little Witch Academia, which is my favorite Trigger show. Yeah. And it's awesome. It is a school-based, magical school show. So it's about friendship and magic. And it just so happens the thing that they're really interested in is magic to help the world. And it's neat. It's a fun series. It is sometimes very chill and sometimes not so chill. But it's great, and you should check out that show. And watch the 1-minute video of me telling you why you should watch that. Okay, so I've got some anime to talk to you about. We've got to keep working on this. We're going to talk about some games and things that people have been playing. Get back to working on this model kit. Finish the head here. But before I do that, what I really need to do is drink some water and dramatically transition to the overhead camera. And we'll do both of those things right now. Let me switch the lighting back. There. This lighting, I think, is better for this. Again, washes me out a little bit because it's a white light, but I think it's better for the overhead camera to use the white light. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my feeling. Okay, this sticker should have dried here. And so we should be able to slot this in. And yeah, it did not move, which is great. And then put the face on, or the front head on here. Awesome. Ooh, yes. Okay. I think you can see that from there, that the sticker is very visible and looks really good, and that makes me happy. That was worth the annoyance of trying to get that sticker right, because it was annoying. So we did that. And now we can do the rest of the face, and then panel on the face, and then stick it on there. And then we're going to talk about some anime here. Episode 10 of Sorairo. It's hard to say. Sorairo Utility. Break the word down, Pat. You can do it. Sorairo Utility, which is the Girls Doing Golf show that I really enjoy. I talked about it a bit on Thursday. I'll recap it really quickly. Basically, a while back in this show, our 3 characters did a virtual golf game and got the high score in this VR virtual golf game. And the former high score winner apparently was pissed off that some unknowns beat her high score. So she flew herself to Japan to find them, to confront them. And because she is a rich young lady named Hina. Hina is apparently a little rich Ojo-sama. So she shows up. And she's just like, hey, what's your deal? You seem like amateurs. What even is this? And they're like, hey, you should join us and do a golf because, our main character, Minami, recognizes that this girl group as a trio, if it was a foursome, that would be even better, which is very indicative of the genre. I don't think she's not like self-aware that she is in a girls doing things genre piece, but I think she is just like, this is her trying to be the main character of her life, and I think she acknowledges that, it'll be better if we have another girl. So she does agree, and then she finds out who the third member of the group is, Haruka. Haruka, obviously a child prodigy, we have kind of deduced. Now we get more backstory. Hina is a big fan of Haruka. Loved how Haruka was like really aggressive in golfing, and just seemed like a young lady with a lot of determination, and just like kind of even like confident, maybe even cocky. So she's like, oh, I love that because I think she's great. And I've always wondered what happened to you. But hey, why are you so chill? Why, like, Hina is mad that Haruka doesn't have that killer instinct anymore. And she thinks that maybe it's the other girls have negatively influenced her to kind of be more relaxed. And so she's very unhappy about that. So we get a duel where she's just like, hey, if I win, you have to get rid of these noobs. She does say noobs. She does say the noobs. So she's just, instantly being confrontational, a young lady. And they're going to play. And then Haruka's like, okay, but not in singles. We'll do it in doubles. So it's Minami and Hina, or Mina Hina, and Haru and Ayami, or Haruaya, are the teams, which is weird because, like, why would Minami want Haru to ditch her? And so Hina's like, that's weird. Now, my assumption is that Haruka's like, well, if she plays with the good golfer, like once she finds out that Minami is like a natural and also lovely and sweet, like she'll change her mind. Also, maybe she thinks that they'll beat her, but whatever. And that's going to be in the next episode, which we'll talk about now. Basically, Hina's just like, it's a one-on-one anyway because these other girls aren't good golfers, which is true, but she didn't need to say it like that. So yeah, this episode was fun. We finally, on episode 10, we're introduced to our missing piece of the puzzle, our final girl in the Girls Playing Golf series. Because yeah, 4 is better than 3. And she does make a weird first impression, but she does seem fun. So, we'll see more of that. She's very different from the other girls, and that's nice. People like that. And, it is weird that she gets introduced now as opposed to earlier in this show, but whatever. Now I am going to finish paneling this, and then we can start the right arm, which does have stickers pretty early on, but whatever. We'll get to that. I just have to do these blades here because I forgot to do it. Doing this with the gray because this is white or off-white. So gray looks really good on there. And I'm doing black on everything else. I could have done gray on this gray, but I think black works better on it. It's dark enough. Sometimes there's a light gray is the base color of the armor. And then a darker gray marker looks good on it. But in this case, we'll just put the gray on the off-white. And then I bet this is going to pop on and off a lot. So what I'm going to do is cheat a little bit. I'm going to use a little bit of liquid cement because I do not expect, actually, change my mind. Not going to do that. I'm going to put up with it because once I put liquid cement on this, I will never be able to take this piece off, and I might want to take this off at some point. So I will put up with the fact that this is going to this is going to fall all over the place and be annoying. And maybe eventually I'll be like, no, I don't care enough. I'm going to glue this in. But right now, I'll just let it live like this and put up with it if it's annoying. But that's the head done. We'll put the head on the chest. We've already made some good progress on this kit. It's looking good. So now we're going to start on the right arm, which does have a sticker, so I'll get that ready. And I can also tell you about episode 11. Episode 11 of Sorairo Utility, which is the doubles party, with also some backstory stuff here and there, little sprinkles of that as we start learning more about our characters and as they're playing golf. So this is a doubles match. It's Hina and Minami versus Haruka and Ayaka. So it's Haruaya versus Hinami. Hina is like, again, she's younger. She immediately doesn't like Minami and thinks that, they're beneath her, but she's very excited to see Haruka golf because this is someone that she, as a baby, adored. And so now she's golfing at the same course as her. So yeah, a lot of this episode is Hina just like bouncing, like being pretty unlikable, understandably unlikable, of just jumping between like not liking these amateurs and the mistakes that are happening from somebody who is just like new to golf, and making mistakes, and the fact that, she's mad that her hero is slumming it. But yeah, she's just like, I want this to be like my motivation to do better, and I want it to be Haruka's motivation to get that instinct back, and make her the good golfer we all know that she can be. So she's got her motivation, even if it is obviously misguided and not something that we, the viewers, would want to see. We want this to be fun golf times with the gals. But as the game goes on, she starts making errors here and there because, her head isn't properly in the game. Meanwhile, Minami, as a rookie, just has turns out, as Minami plays golf, she gets better at golf the more she plays. Like, she starts getting into a rhythm and finding her true path. And yeah, it's just kind of going great. And her grumpiness, Hina's grumpiness, kind of fades a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. She's getting won over by Minami just being, the main character, the fun main character of this story is starting to work on her. All right, so I need that. I'll need 22. So let me get 22 out here. I'm gonna have to put a sticker on this. We'll get that going here. Oh, that's gonna be this piece, right? Yeah, that's this piece. This is the starter piece. This is gonna go in like that. This is gonna go in like that. This is gonna go in like that. I gotta put a sticker on there. I also need G9. So let me get G9 out here. And apparently this was, as I had guessed in the previous episode, I mentioned in the previous episode, this was all Haruka's plan to show Hina that there's a lot of different kinds of ways to play golf, and there's no wrong way if it's the way you're enjoying it. Basically, you don't have to be uber aggressive and take everything so seriously when it comes to golf. And only care about winning and being the very best and all that stuff. You can just also like golf because you like golf. And then here we go. It's finally happened. It's episode 11 of 12. We're getting some fucking backstory. That's right. We're finally getting the backstory that lots of people fucking assumed that our girl had, of how she ended up the way she is. So we get some stuff about Minami finally asks about her past as a golfer. It starts raining, which is on the fucking nose, but there we go. Haruka was so focused on becoming the best golfer at a young age, and failure wasn't like an option, and so she was not prepared to fail, which happens to a lot of young people in sports, certainly, right? Like, you have a natural talent, you work hard to bloom that talent, you are a big fish in a small pond, and as as you start going higher and higher, you suddenly run into other people who are geniuses, or people that worked harder or have other advantages, or just, it just happens. But like, yeah, all she knows is golf. She knows nothing else. And she goes into a pro women's tournament and she misses it. It's not even that someone did better than her. It's just that she missed a crucial shot, which happens to golfers. It's a fact of life. But she was not prepared for that inevitability, like just not emotionally ready for that kind of a thing. And so it broke her. Scroll down my notes, sorry. So basically, that thing that she should have won and lost because of a crucial error on her part caused her to quit forever. She just quit playing golf for a long time. She at the very least, she stopped competing, and she thought she might quit, but she definitely stopped competing professionally. And the person that helped her get over it and keep doing it for the love of it was Ayaka. Ayaka was, the friend who was interested in golf purely just for fun, but also was like to explore it for her, streaming stuff. And that like fun element of it was enough to give us the Ayaka that we, not the Ayaka, the Haruka that we have now, which is just like really nice. Like, it's one of those things like, it was either like, oh, she wanted to be a pro golfer and she lost dramatically and that changed her. In this case, she did lose, and it was, or like, because this show probably didn't need a dead parent trope, but that is a trope. It's a trope for a reason, because it just gets used a lot. So it was like, oh, I wonder if like she got into golf to make somebody feel proud of her, and then that person died, so it's like, what's the point, or something like that. But we didn't have that. Instead, it was just she lost and almost gave it up. Also, there is a fun joke of Ayaka being afraid of frogs, which we've seen earlier. We get to see the origin of that, which is exactly what you would expect. It is just a little fun little moment where, yeah, now she's terrified of frogs, but it is a fun little part of the flashback. No, Lord Crashington, I did not say dead parrot. I said dead parent. The anime trope for main characters and supporting characters of the parent who died. Not the dead parrot trope, which is not a trope. It's just a joke from a sketch show that then gets referenced in many other things. And then we get Hina's backstory. The newest character gets a backstory. That's just fun. That's a fun bit of business that we also get to learn a little bit more about Hina, which is fun. Let me get... sorry. We've got our first sparkly part. I'll call it out every time we get a sparkle part. Our first sparkle part is H3, and so we'll get that out here, which is going to be on the shoulder here. We'll be very careful with these, because it'd be good to have it. Oop. All right. And goes like that. Ooh, that looks fucking good. That looks real good, y'all. This is our first shoulder done. And so we'll panel line it, of course, as I talk about this. Hina's backstory is very similar to Haruka's. And most of the time it was, the reason why she doesn't like people who aren't good at golf, that are lesser than her, is because her former friends, she was too aggressive about golf for her friends. Like her, just like childhood friends weren't as into golf as she was. And so they just kind of drifted away because she was like aggressive, and kind of pushed them away. Which is a shame. And that's how she kind of takes it out on other people. It's like, oh, yeah. And then, the person that she always assumed that, was her role model suddenly disappeared from the sport professionally. And that obviously had a negative impact on her. John says, the sparkly plastic fold quartz on the Macross Delta model I finished up were a tight fit. Ooh, yeah. I have heard that. You're not the first person to say that. Also, hi, I'm John. Welcome. Happy you're here. All right, so this has been panel lines. I'll clean this up, and then we will move on to working on the rest of the right arm. Sorry. My allergies are just whooping my ass, so I apologize that I've been sniffling and occasionally having to take care of that. But yeah, allergy pills not doing enough right now. It's rough out there. Really just whooping my butt when it comes to those things. Trying to survive it. I did not get the cold that both my parents have had, so that's good. Especially because my mom has been coughing so much their voices shot. And so that has not happened to me. So fingers crossed it will not, that I will not suddenly develop the cold. As long as it's just allergies, I can deal with it. The rest of this episode, I should just finish this episode up. So she was inspired by Haruka, and then Haruka's, wasn't there. And now she's just so fucking psyched that she gets to play with the girl that she's always admired. And then Minami kind of, just by being Minami, kind of ropes her into the group. But Hina does leave when the game is over. So then the rest of the episode is just the doubles match happening. But yeah, Hina does leave at the end, so we're probably not. Hina is not immediately a member of the group, but maybe there'll be another opportunity for her to join in. But yeah, the rest of the episode is them playing, and then Hina kind of lightens up. Haruka misses the shot that would have cinched their win. They definitely would have won, but she missed it, which happens. And then she's just like, oh, I missed. But they still win. And then Hina just has a full-on tantrum that is very cute because she lost. And that is just how she deals with stuff. It's one of those things maybe I'm happy this character wasn't there. I mean, she would have changed and become more laid back as the series progressed, certainly. But I think that a lot of her would have been rough. So maybe I'm glad that they waited until later in the season to introduce her. So yeah, because some people have higher tolerance for tsundere than I do. I have a pretty low tsundere tolerance, so at a certain point I was just yeah, okay, all right, well, why don't you become a more well-rounded individual sooner rather than later? How about you fucking figure this shit out, please? And she does figure the shit out, so it does get better as a character pretty quickly. All right, let me get I need PC9, get that out. That should be this, yep. And then I need B32 and B33. One interesting thing about this, sorry. Yeah. And that was really fun. But yeah, she does leave at the end of the episode. So I guess we will not have, we did not have anything, but we are ending the episode with a tease of maybe, again, when I say tease, it's a capital T tease for that. Are we getting queer baited a little bit? That the last episode might have some crush stuff, might develop a little bit more. I think we're definitely getting queer baited for this last episode coming up. Because, yeah, I think it's only 12. Next week's episode should be the last one. I'm going to check really quick on Annie Chart. Annie Chart is helpful for that. Like the cliffhanger in Solo Leveling today made me go to Annie Chart to find out that there's 13 episodes this season. I thought there were only 12. So I was like, wait, that's a weird cliffhanger. I mean, I know they put cliffhangers in, but that's a really weird one. It's not a cliffhanger. There's another episode next week. Solo Leveling, by the way, real fucking good. So Sora is 12 episodes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Episode 12 coming up. Okay. Yes. We got that. Yeah. Episode 12 is aired. I just haven't watched it yet. That's the thing. I mean, that's what I mean by that. Episode 12 has aired. I just haven't watched it yet because I was behind on them. So now I'm going to get caught up on watching episode 12, and then I will be able to talk about that next week and finish off the series. I will have watched the 12th episode in time for Pat Bear's Anime Club, which is on Tuesday. This coming Tuesday is the live episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club, because I try to watch as much of it before I do those episodes as I can. Unfortunately, that does not include Solo Leveling, but it's okay because I already know that it whipped ass. But I will try to finish up stuff as much as I can. So I will watch that episode so I can cover it for that. That's 30. I need 32 goes on this side, and I need 33. I pulled the wrong one out here. These numbers are hard to read on this piece, on the sprue. But yeah, I really like this show. I'm excited for the final episode. So at this point, I will say now is the part of the stream where I want to hear from you, friends. We got some time left on the stream. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you up to? What are you into? What do you got going on? I always love hearing from you about that stuff. I will say for me, as I said, I was supposed to have some D&D yesterday. That unfortunately did not happen. Did not get the D&D in. So hopefully we'll get something in this week. It was supposed to be a one-shot, but enough people were like, can't. And so it was like, all right, that's fine. But I ended up watching wrestling with some friends, and that was really fun. It's always a good time to watch with friends. Synced watching is what we end up doing. Okay, so it goes like that. Good. All right, good. Working on the arm here. So I did that. Watching anime, as I said. Solo Leveling I watched today. I finished. I'm a noble on the brink of ruin, so I might as well learn magic, which is one of the dumbest easy watches I've ever seen. What else? Villainous Dad has been so good. That's been so fun. That's a lovely show. I wish the animation budget was a little better for it, but it's still good. What else? I finally I'm watching Orb. Last season, the number one thing I heard from people of the show that they were surprised I wasn't watching was Orb. Let me look up the full fucking name of this goddamn show. Yeah, so the number one show that people were like, because it was a 2-core, and I didn't watch the first core as it was airing, but I heard from a bunch of people, Orb on the Movements of the Earth is like my favorite show this season, Pat. You should be watching Orb. And I wasn't watching Orb, so I started watching Orb, and it's really fucking good. God damn, it's really good. Really got me going. And then, of course, Zenshu. We're finishing up Zenshu, and I'll talk about that on Monday. And Sakamoto Days. Did not watch this weekend's episode because I'm talking about that on Monday, so I did not watch it today. I will watch it tomorrow along with Zenshu. Watch both those tomorrow. Talk about it on Monday. I'm excited for that. But yeah. yeah, I heard so much about Orb that I was like, okay, fucking fine. I will watch Orb. Jesus. And it's really good. Orb on the Movements of the Earth, like, not was what I was expecting, and really strong. That's definitely one of my favorite shows of this season. Good season. Not the strongest spring we've ever had, but like still pretty fucking solid. Or winter, I should say. Winter 2025. As far as winters go, still really solid. Also, the anime awards are coming out. Crunchyroll's anime awards are around the corner. Let me see here. When are the voting? Voting begins April 3rd through the 14th. So on April 3rd, I will put up a bonus episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club that is my voting guide. So I will do the voting guide for people. I've been doing the last couple of years. There are some new categories added this year. They added Best Voice Artist Performance in Hindi, and that rules. Glad to see that up there. And then Best Background Art is a category, which I feel like, what? Best Background Art does not feel like it's that should be in there. And then Best Isekai Anime. They fucking did it, everybody. They finally did it. They added a Best Isekai because isekais don't often get nominated for the big awards. Although I think next year Zenchu will probably get nominated. And Slime occasionally does, but I don't think Slime will be on this year's awards, which again, those awards are for the year of 2024. Now, it used to be the fall season of the previous year through the summer season, but now they're going to be switching to the winter season to the fall season of a year. So this coming award show has 5 seasons of anime accounted for as they try to adjust, and then the next year's will just be the one. That, I know that's complicated, but it's just that this year the fall 2023 shows people are gonna be like, I don't remember that at all. But going forward, it'll be better. It'll be better now because they'll do it later in the year. And I just think it means that some shit can get nominated that otherwise wasn't getting nominated. And I think like Frieren, now both parts of Frieren can be nominated for Anime of the Year. You can look at it as both parts together because it's winter 2023, fall 2023, and winter 2024. So I would say that Frieren is a lock. But basically, it'll be in step with like my awards, which is good for me. We'll see there. But yeah, now they have best isekai, and there were a lot of isekai last year, and I don't know what's going to win. But it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. Let me see what y'all have been writing here. John says, I've been playing Mario and Luigi Brothership, and halfway through Okasura, the Okinawa girl anime, I gave up on that one. I know that some people are into it. I think that the fact that I am not a native Japanese speaker kind of takes away from a key element of that show, that the Okinawan accent being so hard to understand does not translate properly to subtitles. And it just, from the first like 3 episodes, I just kept feeling like, oh, I bet that's funnier than I'm not laughing right now, but I bet I would laugh if I like had trouble understanding what she had to say. I don't know. I just think it feels like something is lost in translation on that one. But hell yeah. I mean, keep at it if you're enjoying it, John. But yeah, I ended up giving that one up and just saying like, not for me. Which is rough because I like romantic comedies. It's just there wasn't a lot of romantic comedy anime this year or this season, and one show I did want to watch didn't get picked up, so I haven't even seen it. Hopefully that's coming out next season. Supposedly that HIDIVE is going to be picking up the the people who are trying to pretend like they're not dating coworker show. I mean, I still have problems understanding what she says, but I'm not fluent in Japanese. Well, I'm saying, John, you have trouble understanding what she's saying due to the translation they're giving you, because they have to translate it weirdly. But like, I just think something is lost. It's not lost in translation. It's lost in a proper. How do I don't even know how to, it's good, because I'm going to have to say this on Tuesday when I talk about it. One of the key elements of that show is he needs a translator because he's having trouble understanding her. And of course, it's a love triangle. He's unaware of being a love triangle, a crush triangle. But I don't understand what parts of her dialect he can and can't understand all the time. Like, I have trouble identifying what he's having trouble identifying. And I feel like if I had that, I would like the show better. But I think other people are enjoying it, and that's awesome. Because I'm not saying it has to be like that. I'm not saying that everything has to be for me. Just that I was finding myself going, just kind of not enjoying my time with it, because I was like, oh, I wish I understood enough Japanese to know what parts I'm not supposed to understand, because I don't understand any of it. Yes, Lord Crashes, I'm being very demanding. I mean, I am. I want the, it's more that I'm just like, I don't think I can properly get what's going on here. So, yeah, it's hard to say, but I think the actual thing, which I did finally manage to say, and I'll probably say when I talk about it on Tuesday, is there are parts of it where I'm like, I don't know like what I'm supposed to understand and what I'm not supposed to understand here. Yeah, Pat, I would like to enjoy the shows I watch. Yeah. Let's see. Lashbrook beat Space Marine 2 this week, and the game was really good, way better than the first. Ended up getting System Shock Remake on sale, and I'm not quite hooked on it so far. Here's the thing. System Shock is just fucking old. It's really good, right? And yes, the people that said, oh, I wish you had played System Shock 2 when BioShock was coming out, and people were like raving about BioShock, and the old heads were like, but System Shock 2. But like, it's hard to go back to System Shock and System Shock 2 because they're just old games that we're trying, and then some other newish games did the things as well. And I'm not saying better, just more modern. And obviously those games are now old as well. All the BioShock games are old, but yeah, I understand. It's sometimes I get why it might not hit you. In the same way that like people who played the last like 2, which are now probably the final 2, Deus Ex games were like, should I go back to the old Deus Ex games? And I told a friend of mine, probably not. I don't know if you would like it. Like culturally, it's, like if you're trying to be a games historian, maybe you should. But if you just want to play more you want to play more Deus Ex games, I don't know about that one. I beat Space Marine 2. Oh, yeah, you said that already. Last week said, did not know the game would just decide things have been too chill and pop up monsters from the floor to attack you. Yes. System Shock and System Shock 2 are not chill video games. They have no chill, which is what some people really loved about them at the time, especially. Lord Crash didn't watch Wicked on Peacock, having never seen or listened to the musical. It was pretty fun. Yeah, I think Wicked is a great musical. I've seen a off-Broadway production of it, which was phenomenal. And I have not seen Wicked yet. I do have Peacock, so I probably should watch Wicked on there. I should also let my mom know that Wicked is on Peacock, because she went to the movies to see it and really liked it. She might want to watch it again. I don't think my dad would want to watch it ever, which is why he did not go to the movies to see it. But maybe he would, but I don't think he would be into it. He doesn't hate musicals, but I mean, she could put it on and he could fall asleep. That's probably what would happen. All right, we got some time left. I am going to watch Collision. Usually I watch the West Coast replay of Collision. Tonight it will be the live coast-to-coast version. It is airing. Hopefully it has not started, or at least the Max version might have started, because that happened the last time that it just aired. But I am going to watch Collision tonight. Because it's on after basketball. It's just an hour though, instead of the 2 hours, because then the other hour will be on tomorrow night, also after basketball. They're doing like 1 hour. It's all they all pre-taped it, so it's easy for them to do it. Which I thought was kind of an interesting idea. I don't know how many people will stick around to watch professional wrestling, to watch AEW's B show, but I don't know. It's an interesting choice to be like, we're gonna do an hour each night. It's like, okay, good on you. I could look up the results if I wanted to, but I didn't look up the results because I would like to be surprised. I do want to know, I might look up tomorrow's results depending on which matches go on today. But I'm going to try to not be surprised. B21, everyone. I got to do B21. Lord Crashton says, I would like to see them record the Broadway version over whatever's version best. At the moment to put on Peacock like they did with Hamilton on Disney+. Yes. Filming productions for video is not a thing that happens that often. Generally, Broadway shows do not have that because they will do the cast recording, the audio cast recording, and that is generally it because they want you to go see it on Broadway. But that does happen on occasion. Usually they will try to get like some of the bigger names to come back for it and do like a film thing. And a little while there, they were doing like TV productions of musicals and getting like the best of cast for that. I don't know if they'll do that, but that would be interesting if they did. Lord Crash, it would be interesting. All right, we got a lot done today. We got our little Lego cars done here. We've got the head and the chest and one whole arm done. This kit's coming together well. Obviously, we have more to do with this kit because we have the whole other arm. We got to put it together and get that all ready. And then we'll work on the feet and then the legs. And then, because it's a kit from the mid-2000 teens, so we got some armor to put on. And then the waist gets built. And then we'll put the whole thing together, and then we'll build the alternate arms, the hands, because there's a bunch of different hands we could build. And then, wait, what page? Oh, here we go. And then the very last thing that we work on is the hair. We got to build the cool hair that this kid has. Oh, also wrist blades. It's got beam wrist blades, and it's got a effects punch. It's got a bunch of cool effect parts on here to go on the hands. And then also the hair can become also has wings. There's a lot going on here. And then also kind of like you can do the wings or you can do like flame, like extra hair that like comes off, which is silly. Look, is this hair or is this just like a bandana? I call it hair. Because to me, it does. To me, the fact that it flares out at the bottom, this is goddamn hair. This is a mullet. It's hair. I know some people say it's not hair. It's just like a ribbon. But like, no, it's hair. John says, I would like to see more recordings of Broadway shows, even if they want to do a year or so they performed it. Not sure from sales. Yeah. Okay. So you're saying because Lord Crashton says. I would be more accessible for people that can't get to New York City. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, that's kind of always been the drop-down thing. The reason why licensing a play, a production, a Broadway production to do on your community level or your high school or your college level isn't actually honestly that expensive is because, can be expensive is because the idea is, well, I can't ever get to New York, so I'll go to the regional production of Wicked. Or, the high school is doing Wicked. I'll go to that. It's supposed to trickle down, and it's supposed to, by being exclusive, the Hamilton regional Hamilton that's doing Chicago, I'll go see that because I'm never going to get Chicago, but I can get to Chicago, but I can't get to New York. Like, the idea is it's supposed to help sell the other productions. Does it do that? I don't, or does it just lead to like increasingly fighting people who are trying to bootleg Handycam a Broadway show? You decide. John says, on the model kit I got for my first real grade, the 93 new grade, when I was in Fudoka, hoping to build sometime in the next few months. I hope you'd get to work on that, and John. I've heard good things about that version of that real grade, because I've done the new Gundam, but that's a slightly different new real grade that I've done. But yeah, we got a lot done here. I'm going to take a photo of this just so I'm done with the photos. We'll switch back to this lighting. It's better for photos. Then just take this photo here. All right, so I'm going to be back on Monday with another stream, and I hope you will also. Yeah, we made some progress today. I hope you will also be back on Monday for the stream. You can come hang out with me as I continue to work on this. Next Tuesday, as I get ready to raid, because that is how we end every stream around here. We always end with a raid. We're going to go find someone doing cool stuff and go spend some time with them. But as we get ready for this raid, as just as we always end with a raid, I want to remind you that Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern, I will continue to work on this very good model kit. And then on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, it's Pat Bear's Anime Club, my ongoing video series where I talk about anime. In this case, it'll be the Winter 2025 wrap up and the Spring 2025 preview. We talked a little bit about Assassin's Creed. We're going to go raid Arthur, who is playing Assassin's Creed. So if you want to see some Assassin's Creedage, and apparently if you watch long enough, there are drops that you can win. So that's cool. Drops are turned on for Arthur's stream. So I hope you come hang out with Arthur because he's good people and his streams are nice. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Hope you come along on this raid, and I hope to see you on Monday or Tuesday or Thursday or every day. I can't see you every day, but I hope to see you on a stream soon. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.